to go. Final event. Ready. He held them, let them go this time. And it jumped very quickly. Nobility straight to the lead. Soon after, away well also. Pretty Divine. Rapid Rock came out hard, but is out there wide from Gold Vancouver. Mystic Jane, Diablo Lad shortly after the start. And they're being followed by JD, pushing right up near the inside. Zach Loves to Fly, posted deep. Cobb and Co. the centre. A length and a half away then. Shooting Spirit in the back half. Groundbreaker. Also Wayne the Pain and LONSDALEITE. The tail ender is Mr. Causeway. They head along to the 600 mark where Nobility held the front for Ramilly. Leads the way from Rapid Rock. Mystic Jane third down near the inside, following the leader to the turn. Then in the middle came Pretty Divine. Gold Vancouver has to drag them three deep. Zach Loves to Fly wider. Held up Cobb and Co. JD looks for a rails run. Then Diablo Lad. And now to the outside. Shooting Spirit making its run as well. Nobility hasn't been tested though at the 220. Nobility led by two. Mystic Jane down the outside. Here's LONSDALEITE starting to open up with a big run. Nobility's the leader, but LONSDALEITE charging with Mystic Jane. LONSDALEITE grabbed them. LONSDALEITE surging to the lead. LONSDALEITE beat Mystic Jane. Shooting Spirit snatching third from Nobility. And from the tail, Mr. Causeway, Groundbreaker, both running on. Gold Vancouver, Cobb and Co. Wayne the Pain behind them with JD. And then further back, Diablo Lad, the tiring Rapid Rock. Pretty Divine next home. And Zach Loves to Fly. LONSDALEITE, ridden by Holly Watson. Despite the wide gate, went back and rounded them up in 1:10.61. 1:10.61. LONSDALEITE sailing down the outside from the back for Holly Watson and Mitchell Pateman. And it's the more than ready gelding LONSDALEITE bouncing back to the winners list in just over a year since its last victory. Beats Mystic Jane, third. Shooting Spirit. Nobility weakening in the last 75 back into fourth place. A length and a half, a short neck of the margins. The winner is out of Light and Princessa, having its third run for Mitchell Pateman. Drew right toward the outside of the field, went back, had to circumnavigate them. Widest of those runners at the top of the home straight, but has finished powerfully, charging right down the middle of the course and running over the top. Mystic Jane had a terrific run. She followed Nobility every step of the way, and Shooting Spirit there also doing its best late. A couple of good runs behind them, including Mr. Causeway from the back. It charged to the line as well, and it was certainly a run here that might be worth noting with Groundbreaker as well. 35.10 the last 600 metres. So it's 4, 6, 7 and 9 to round out the afternoon as we take you back down now into the winners' enclosure and catch up with Lockie Taylor. LONSDALEITE finishing with a wet sail right down the middle of the course to get home and win impressively.
Oh, yes, he did. A super win to round out the day here at Ascot, and winning trainer Mitch Pateman joins you now. Mitch, anyone that is in WA racing knows that you have been so confident with the condition of this horse all throughout this preparation, and finally he gets the job done.
Yeah, it's taken one run too many. I'd done my absolute arse last start, but I declared him to the world, and yeah, he won't go between horses. He just hates it. I said to Holly today, you've drawn 15 to 15, but just sit back and circle him. If he's good enough, he'll win. Like his first up start this prep, he got beat 2 lengths Joker's Grin, and he goes around $13 in a midweek. So yeah, he's a pretty smart horse. Behind the scenes, he's been working really well, and yeah, very happy with the result.
At what stage did you think you were the winner? Because he always had that lovely card up on the back of Shooting Spirit.
Yeah, she rode him perfect. I said sort of pre-race, if we could land on its back, that'd be a great spot to be. And she just tagged it, and yeah, she rode it really well, and yeah, the horse is flying. He's
yet to do it on a Saturday, but behind the scenes, you really feel like he has the ability to well and truly go through his gates?
Yeah, for sure. His work at home's super. We got him really sound this prep. Last prep had a lot of soundness issues with him. John Williams has done a lot of work on him, and nothing major, but just got him in really good order where he's pulling up super, and yeah, I think that's what's holding him in such good stead.
And it looks like you'll have a bit of fun tonight with a very happy group of owners.
Yeah, it's good to be training winners for boys like these. They love it and they appreciate it, and Yeah, I think this horse has sort of been frustrating at times for him, so it's good to get a result for him.
A great result, well done.
Cheers, mate.
There's Mitch Pateman after the win of LONSDALEITE. The boys are absolutely delighted with their result in the last of the day, taking out the Glenroy Chaff handicap. And Riley, with the benefit of hindsight and the insight from Mitch Pateman, you can certainly just rule a line through LONSDALEITE's last run because, as Mitch said, he just doesn't appear to appreciate racing in between runners, but with a bit of galloping room, he can show a serious turn of foot down the outside.
Exactly right, Lockie. He just never looked a happy horse last start, as you mentioned, caught in between runners once they did straighten for home, but he was afforded that lovely flowing run into the race this time around, and he was able to put them away very impressively over the concluding stages. I'll just let Holly Watson weigh in before we have a quick chat with her after the win of LONSDALEITE. It was a very impressive performance, a horse that has a very strong turn of foot in his arsenal. Holly, obviously there was a bit of expectation put on this horse at his first couple of runs this campaign, and while they were eye-catching, the camp might have thought they would have been able to pinch one by now, but that was certainly him at his best, wasn't it?
Yeah, it definitely was. I think last start just probably didn't suit him. He's not a horse that likes to go through him. He's one that can let rip down the outside.
You must have been very happy with the position you were able to land in running with him, 3 deep with a bit of cover, which just allowed him that real flowing run into the race.
Yeah, definitely. When I landed on the back of Shooting Spirit, I knew we were a huge chance there.
Back to town with him now off that performance today, you'd think?
Yeah, definitely. He's got a lot of ability, and Mitchell's done a great job with him to keep him so sound.
Is that the first win back in the saddle off a little let up?
Yeah, definitely his second meeting back, so it's good to be back.
My apologies.
Second meeting, sorry.
Congratulations on the win, Holly. I'll let you go celebrate.
Thank you.
There's Holly Watson combining with Mitch Pateman and LONSDALEITE to salute for a very, very happy group of connections. They absolutely tore the grandstand down when LONSDALEITE kicked clear at around the 200 metre mark, but it rounds out what has been a terrific day of racing, only a small but select race meeting in terms of only 7 races, Riley, but some nice highlights. I guess the key highlight, perhaps the first race of the day with the win of Schmoove Mover. He looks like a seriously nice 3-year-old.
He certainly does, and it was all the more, I guess, rewarding for the camp as they have had to take a bit of time with the horse. It hasn't exactly been smooth sailing with him as well, but gee, that was a very impressive performance from him first up, and I think he's only going to be a horse lock who gets better as they step him up in distance off the back of that performance today as well.
I know Sentimental Hero went down as your best bet of the day, but you're not losing faith. He's still your likely on topper in the Perth Cup in a couple of weeks' time.
Exactly right, Lockie. It's the old adage, you lose the battle but you win the war. I think they'll be very confident off the back of that performance from the horse today, heading to the Perth Cup in a couple of weeks, and as I did mention, going through the final 800 metres of that race a little bit earlier prior to the running of the last. He's only risen higher above the local pack for me heading towards the Perth Cup.
That's all we have time for here on 7 Plus on Racing WA TV. Thank you so much for joining us for today's 7 race program. Myself and Matthew French will be back on the airwaves tomorrow afternoon to cover all of the action down in Bunbury.